Welcome to my Instagram Live. So happy that you're here today. We have an amazing show with Vicki Casciola, and Vicki is in the space of hairstyling, but she's the Uber. She is such a superstar in this area. So happy Vicki's here already, and so we are so on top of this. Here's the request because we've got a lot to cover. We're going to go live on, which she will be momentarily. Vicki crushes whatever arena she needs to be in, including, hi, Michael. And here comes Vicki. We're buffering for a moment. And Vicki, I'm beyond thrilled to have you here. And I'm going to be introducing the show. Can you just say hi? Make sure. So excited. Okay, so everybody, welcome to Disruptive Conversations with me, Dr. Risa Ryger, where we deep dive into I'm so excited. I'm seeing Vicki here. I'm losing my words. So here we go again. Welcome to Disruptive Conversations, in which we deep dive into the experiences these women have needed to navigate and conquer in order to achieve their personal and professional success up to this point. And I'm Dr. Risa Ryger, clinical psychologist, and I'm an expert in change. Now, positive change can happen at any point in time. You are never too late for positive change. But in order to create positive change, you need to disrupt. You need to disrupt thought, feeling, belief, behavior in order to create your 10.0 life. And that's what this series of conversations is all about. And today, today I am so thrilled to have Vicki Casciola. Vicki, I'm going to be introducing you. And as I say, I need to have this written out because my guests are so extraordinarily accomplished. And so wait till you hear about Vicki. If you don't know her yet, you are in for some really special and different time. So Vicki is a native Las Vegas person, which not very many people can say. And she began her love affair with hair at a very early age, 10 years old. She learned cosmetology. Whatever Vicki has taken, she has taken on with tremendous commitment and really looking to be superb. She earned her cosmetology license before graduating high school. And she is known as the hair gypsy, and she preaches that if we were meant to stay in one place, we would have roots instead of feet. Vicki is an international celebrity hairstylist. She's flown all over the world for her expertise, and she's also a global artistic director of Hair Talk Extensions. We may be seeing some of the brilliance of her work right now. I live for the day when Vicki will do that for me as well. It will be on my growth plate. And she is behind the chair for all sorts of celebrities, such as, different housewives, the Go-Go's, the B-52s, Paula, Mercedes Chavez, Bella Hadid, and Winters, and we can go on and on. And she's called upon for her transformational talent, and this is not said lightly, and beauty expertise for events like Victoria's Secret, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, the Grammys, the SAG Awards, New York Fashion Week. Can't wait to see you back here then, Vicki. And Paris Fashion Week. So she is an inspiration. Vicki brings more to the table than just hair, and anyone who has an opportunity to work with her is truly up for an extraordinary experience.
Oh, thank you.
So hi, Vicki.
You're making me blush.
Oh, good.
Good. I don't know if it's hot here or you're just making me blush.
So, Vicki, of what I've said about you from the bio, what else would you like to add for people to know about you, if anything?
Let me see. I mean, I'm a pretty much open book. But I loved our conversation earlier, how you said that basically this conversation, it really made me start thinking that we are going to be melding hair and heart. And that kind of really hit home for me because I know that I was born to make people look good, to feel better. And that's my purpose. Thank God, because I can't do anything else, especially when it comes to technology. But I know that I can make somebody feel beautiful on the outside, which really shines through on the inside. So, I mean, honestly, everything about me is about hair, whether I'm behind the chair or I'm beyond the chair, you know?
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And so, Vicki, what is it, because I'm talking about disruption, I'm talking about moving into, personal success. What is it that you needed to disrupt inside of yourself for the achievement of your personal and professional success up to this point in time? Because there's more to come.
Oh gosh, yes, there's always more to come. I mean, what I needed to disrupt is these last 2 years have been challenging, and I think everybody has room to growth. Well, I'm going to be 40 in December. So there's a very weird change happening. And the funny thing is, I'm so good at making people look good to feel better on the inside. But I also feel like it's a curse and blessing because I forget about myself. So I used to put myself on the back burner. And this year, I actually disrupted my self-care. And I said, you know what? Every quarter, I'm going to start doing something for me. I'm going to start taking a trip. I'm going to start healing on the inside so that I can shine brighter on the outside and make people truly feel better about themselves. Because they say, if you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to be 100% and make other people feel about themselves. So I think that was one of the biggest disruptions of my life, kind of just self-awareness of like, you're taking care of everybody else. What about you? And that's the most important thing is self-care. And I guess it took me 39 years to figure this out, but it's never too late, right? It's never too late. So that's one of the biggest, accomplishments, and it's time. It's time to work on me, you know?
Yes, that it's so important. And I think it's been part of the socialization of women to put everyone last, everyone first, and put yourself last.
Always.
If there's room, if there's time, if, after you've done all these different things, taking care of all of these people, had accountability for so many other people, and
Absolutely.
how and can you tell us a little bit more about how you started having and making it important for you to have accountability to yourself, for yourself? You put yourself at the top of the list, towards the top of the list at least.
Well, you know what? Not even towards the top of the list. This year, I am the top of the list.
For you.
This year, I am the top of the list. And I think that's truly important when you're in a business that, you give. And I'm such an empath. I take on everything, and anybody feels anything when I'm, behind the chair as a hairstylist. We're just so busy worrying and taking care of everybody. I just got exhausted. So me being exhausted, the first thing that I do every morning, I know that you just posted something actually today, is about like your routine. Your routine, the first time, or when you wake up first thing in the morning, the only thing you should worry about is you. What is going to set your standards? What is going to make you the best version of yourself by putting yourself first? And working out is something that truly takes my day to the next level. Wake up and release serotonin, right? Go take a run, do yoga. I mean, I was a gymnast for 25 years. So
Wow.
something active. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? Very flexible. So I just think that it's very important that, put yourself first, the first thing when you wake up. And from there on, in the beginning of the year, I can't believe we're already in September, basically. That was something that my routine, 4:30 in the morning. And then after that, yeah, I know it's crazy. That's the only time I have for myself is the morning. And after that, just writing a list, setting goals, and making sure that I take every quarter a trip, because traveling is my medicine. Like music is my medicine. Traveling, experiencing other cultures, it truly fills my soul. And that was missing. I do travel for work all the time, but again, I'm a people pleaser. I'm taking care of everybody else. I was traveling, but I wasn't really in the moment because I was always on to the next. So being present is one of the biggest things this year: being present, making sure I put myself first, and making sure that I travel. You know, that hair gypsy, she's not just a hair gypsy, she's just naturally a gypsy. I need to travel. I need to travel to really feed my soul and to feel good about myself. And I think everybody needs to travel if they don't, because it really does put your life and, you know, your heart in different perspectives. So, yeah.
In some kind of travel. Now, you take it, I mean, you literally take it to new heights. Because I was thinking about you, and I was thinking, well, if you wonder where Vicki is, like, look up in the sky, and
I live in the clouds. I live in the clouds. 100%.
yeah.
I love
And
it.
so, and because what I'm hearing from you about the travel is opening yourself up to new experiences, new cultures, and being available for those experiences. Now, you get yourself on a plane. I just want to do a little side takeaway for people, which is that not everyone can get on a plane. We have all different sorts of commitments and priorities in our life. But what you can do is, wherever you are, you can look for a new experience. You can go someplace you haven't been. You can take a walk on a block that you haven't taken a walk on. You can
Absolutely.
go, if you haven't been to a museum, go to a museum. If you don't have money to do that, there are free nights. That there's always an opportunity to do something, to take your growth plate and just expand it a little bit, and be open to the possibility of what that experience can do for you.
Yeah. I always say, honestly, start living outside of the box. Start doing that. Start doing something that makes you uncomfortable, because I truly believe that if you stay within your comfort zone, there's no growth ever. So one thing a day, do one thing a day, whether, like you said, maybe even going to a different grocery store, maybe taking a walk, down a different block, or I don't know, maybe go live or do something that it makes you a little uncomfortable, because it does open up your soul, and that's where growth starts. To be uncomfortable is going to literally help you grow from the inside out.
That's so beautiful and so important. Also, here you are, you're a woman of your own design, right? On so many different levels. So how is it that you were able to take this 10-year-old girl,
Mm-hmm.
right? This 10-year-old girl who then became a licensed cosmetologist before graduating high school. How are you able to, what is it that you came into in yourself to create you as a brand, as a businesswoman, as the epitome of the the top people in hair?
I mean, so honestly, yes, 10 years old, I did start doing hair, but I think that the reason I am the way that I am today, very goal oriented, very disciplined. Um, One is how I was brought up, how I was brought up, both of my parents working. Um, my sister, we're 5 years apart. I had to, basically help and take care of her. So I was a 5-year-old being a mother already. Okay. And then from there, I would take her, she would come to gymnastics with me, and gymnastics, it was a routine daily, 8 days a week. And the discipline that I learned there really has helped me succeed and set my bar high. I mean, I always say I'm like my worst competition. You know, me being my worst competition, it's like, when is it going to stop? Everyone's like, well, when are you going to slow down? Did you reach your goals yet? What's the next thing? I said, there's always something next. Because if you don't set your goals and your standards high, you get bored, you get complacent, and then you get stagnant, and you lose that sunshine, in your soul to keep going forward. Even on the darkest days, as long as I have my goals that I set and I make sure that I put myself first, there will not be, I don't want to say no bad days, because, I'm not perfect, but there won't be as many dark days,
Well,
so.
yeah, and what you're talking about, it's so important to acknowledge that there are some days that do feel dark.
Yeah,
And if you
absolutely.
and it I want your thoughts on this, and I'm really being cognizant of the time because I know that you've got a hard stop, but that, when when you are having a dark day, when someone's having a dark day, it's such a space of confidence to be able to call it as it is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
not neither catastrophize it, go into, like this is a catastrophe, or making it shine better than it is. But being able to call it, that's such confidence, Vicki.
I mean, it's true. It took me a long time to get there. And, the first thing is admitting and saying, yeah, you know what? I do have bad days. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, but those bad days, I will not let my mind go where it used to. And I have to say that just recently started. Like I said, it took me 39 years to say, you know what? I'm so blessed to wake up and take a breath in the morning. You never know. Life is so short. So why waste days on being bad? You know, what is it that makes you happy? And I'm doing it. Waking up, making sure I go to the gym, count my blessings, affirmations, whatever it is. Getting up is the first step, and working through those bad days is what really elevates you as a person. And I think it comes with age, for sure. You know what I mean? It definitely comes with age, but it's super, super important. It's super important to let people know that it's okay to not be okay, you know?
And that doesn't mean that you're not going to be okay forever.
Exactly.
But that you're calling the truth. You're calling the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it lands, because then you get to know where you are and what you need to do or what you can try to do.
Accountability, 100%.
It's so important. Accountability to yourself and the responsibility to yourself to be able to say, I play golf every once in a while, and when your ball, it's like a metaphor for life. When your ball is on the grass, you say, my ball is on the grass. When your ball is in the sand, you got to say, my ball's in the sand. If you're going to say, well, no, my ball is on the grass. Like, where are you? How is that going to be helpful to you? And that's not what optimism is. And I love what you're saying. It's so important.
It's
That's
very
not
important.
what optimism isn't obscuring that you're going through a tough time. Optimism is saying, I'm going through a hard time and I'm going to do what I need to do and what I can do to help myself through this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. That's very, very true.
And I want to go back to your melding of hair and heart.
I love that you came up with that. You have the best analogies. It just sticks with me.
How has that, how does that, how do you embody that? How does that come out for you?
I mean, melding hair and heart, I think has always kind of been my outlet, even growing up younger, those bad days, I feel like when I was younger, I had more bad days than now because I didn't know how to deal with it. But how I did is through other people, making people look good to feel better. People behind the chair, whether I'm behind the chair or I'm in the air or I'm on the runway, I can feel everybody's energy because I am such an empath. It's a curse and a blessing. But by giving them exactly what they want, or they didn't even know that they wanted it, when they look in the mirror, if they look good, they feel better. And by them feeling like that, like literally will brighten my day. That makes me feel so good that my purpose is to make people look good to feel better. And when I see somebody else happy, that truly makes me happy. That is, like I said, that is my purpose. And it's a beautiful thing because, I do it a couple times a day, whether I have 5 clients or 10 clients. At the end of the day, I'm exhausted because I take everybody else's energy in, but, the reward is so, so rewarding. It's amazing.
You're living the data of research that if you're feeling down, if you're having a tough time, that doing for someone else, helping someone else will help you have that uptick in you.
Absolutely. Me making other people feel better is what is my fuel. That's what feeds my soul. That's what keeps me going. It gets exhausting, but I love it. I can't think of life without that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be hair, but most of the time it is with hair.
Yeah.
Just one little thing makes such a big difference. I mean, and I'm really big with community service. I love working with kids, and to see working with kids, I work a lot with, what is it called? I can't think of it right now. Can't think of the name. But working with kids that are on the spectrum, working with kids with on the spectrum, it's not only working with them, but being able to see their parents and the feeling that, like, giving them a haircut, it's something that they're uncomfortable with. But
Yes.
finally being able to do that, to see their reaction and crying, like, nobody has been able to do that. They're exhausted as parents. That is just so rewarding to me. It's so rewarding to give back. And giving back is not just hair to me. Giving back is in any way possible, whether it's a food drive, whether it's cutting the homeless's hair, working with kids with autism. I mean, there's so many things that I can do with my career choice that truly blesses people daily. So it's heart-filling.
Absolutely. And when you're saying this, something that we mentioned before, but I really want to talk about more, that when you're working with someone who's homeless and you're giving them a haircut, when you're working with an autistic person and you're helping them be able to tolerate all of the sensory components and
Absolutely.
all of those aspects of having the haircut and the satisfaction that people feel about that, we talked about the fact that there is something I call healthy narcissism.
Yes. Yes.
And that there's a lot of emphasis on pathological narcissism or toxic narcissism, where there is an over investment in just yourself at the exclusion of others, and manipulative and all of that. But that's not the whole picture here.
You're correct.
There's healthy narcissism. So how do you play in that space of people, and it's not just, but people caring about their appearance because it's a way of caring about yourself?
It is a part of self-care. People, especially now, I feel like appearance is bigger than it's ever been, especially me growing up. I didn't have a social media platform. You know what I mean? So I was still doing the dial-up. AOL, whatever it was. But I think that it's funny that people, say that it's narcissistic to care so much about your appearance as a person. It shouldn't make you feel bad if taking pictures of yourself. Being young or in the younger area, it's take pictures, you look good, and if you look good, you feel better. It's very important to, again, put yourself first, but making yourself look good so that you can feel good. It's not being conceited, it's not being narcissistic. I just think that once you brought that to my attention, there is healthy narcissism and there is unhealthy. And just because you care so much about your appearance doesn't mean that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that it's bad narcissism. I just think that everybody should want to look good for themselves, not for anybody else, or not to look like somebody on the internet, but your own individuality. I think it's important. I think it's very important.
And women always, women in particular have that whammy, like that double whammy of, one, if you're not caring, pardon me, if you're not caring, then people say, she should really, like, what's going on? She should really, like, go get a haircut and, like, get some new clothes or, like, comb her hair or whatever. And so if you're not being cognizant and keeping up with it, you're getting slammed. And then
if you are,
then it's like, does she have any time left after doing her eyebrows?
Yes.
Or if she just
it's a catch-22.
Eyebrows,
It's a catch-22. It is. It's like, if you don't care, people are going to knock you. If you care too much, people are going to knock you. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's all about how do you feel when you look in the mirror. Maybe it's someone that doesn't need to be all dolled up to feel good, you know? Going out in sweatpants and a ponytail, if you feel good like that, then do it. If you feel good, I know that my grandma, she never went a day outside without red lipstick on and fully dressed to the grocery store. I mean, there's times, well, when I do go to the grocery store, but there's times it's like, I just want to not have to get ready and be okay with that and going to the grocery store, not beating myself up over it. So it's whatever you feel as a person. But the platform that we have now with social media, it's so hard because people will attack you if you don't get ready, and then people will attack you if you get overly ready. So it's like, it's always about in here. Who cares what anybody else thinks? How do you feel when you look in the mirror?
So Vicki, we're coming towards the end of our time. I told you it was going to go so fast.
This went so fast. I mean, we need our own podcast. Well, we have so much to cover.
Conversation to be continued.
Yes.
So could you please, because I know that with you, as you were doing your gymnastics as a child, and that there's the next move, there's the next challenge, there's the next, if you're doing a single, whatever that is, you're going to a double. If you're going to a double, you're going to a triple. If you're doing that, you're learning new combos. So what is the next disruption for you?
The next disruption for me, that is a hard question because I have so many ideas. But for me, for my self-care part or for my career part?
Your call.
Self-care part is I want to do something that's like a spiritual retreat, work more so on myself and being by myself alone and really feeling. Because, I've taken trips and, I've met friends there and I'm always around people. But this next trip that I want to take, I want to do it solo, not even people that live wherever it's at. Say if I go to Thailand or if I go to Germany, wherever the case may be, I just want to stand still, be in my thoughts, actually feel, and keep growing within. I think it's very important because it's hard. It's hard to sit still for me. In general, it's hard to be in the moment, and being in the moment is something that a lot of people miss out on,
So Vicki, as we're getting ready to just take our poses for to be able to post this, I want to thank you so much for sharing your heart, your soul, your your thoughts and your wisdom with people. This is the first time we're going to be on. It's not going to be our last time together. Nope. More to say. Thanks so much. And so let's get ready to take our,
okay.
I should ask you, do I need the hair flip?
Just put a little bit out of your face, pull your hair forward.
Okay.
I'm virtually helping you.
Right. How foolish would I be not to take these tips and ask you? So I
got all the tips and tricks for you.
Okay. All right, let's take our look. One more. As promised, thank you so much. And we just love having you on.
Thank you
See
so
you
much
soon.
for having me. Yes.
See you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.